Okay, back to the video. Sorry about the complication, but okay. So where we left off, let me kind of show you again. We drew this footer, and we drew the continuous break line. We found the top of a beam, which is 8 foot from the top of the slab. That's going to be the top of the beam. We need to find the bottom of the beam, and if you look at this design, that is a 2x10, so we need to use that 3/4 of the inch equals a foot scale and measure down 10 inches, which is going to be right here, and make 2 marks, 10 inch. And let me get my little T-square. Where'd it go? Where'd my T? Oh, there it is. Okay. Don't know how it got there, but okay. And we're going to draw a parallel horizontal line. Very good. Now we can actually put a continuous break line here too. So same concept. I'm going to use my triangle. Let me flip it this way. I'm going to have to line it up with this continuous break line. And just what I do is I draw 2 line segments and then put a zigzag between them. So zig and zag. You can darken that in if you like. Again, a continuous break line lets the reader know that this continues somewhere else. Now, if you look at the problem, that post rises up. This one's hard to see, but it rises up another 6 inches. And then it goes into the roof rafter. It's tied with a hurricane strap. So we need to measure up 6 inches with the 3/4 of the inch equals a foot scale. An additional 6 inches, which is half foot, off of the top of the beam. So I'm going to make a mark here. Shift over, make another mark. Get my T-square. Now by making 2 marks, you should be able to connect and stay parallel. But I got a T-square, so I'm going to make another mark. Now, this intersection right here is very important. Right here. Let me kind of darken that in. That is a very important intersection, and here's why. We need to draw, that's going to be the bottom of this roof rafter, which if you look at the problem, if this is a 6x6 post, it seems to be a 2x4, so they use 2x4 to make this roof. But we need to, it's a pitch roof. In American architecture, you always get a 12. 12 is inches, right? 1 foot. So your run is 12 inches, your rise is 8 inches. So rise, run, 12, 8. So this mark that I just found, I'm going to take the 3/4 of the inch equals a foot scale. Where are you at? Oh, over here. And measure across 12, which is a foot. Make a mark. I could do it twice, or use my triangle. So off of that, I'm going to rise up 8. So I'm going to get my 3/4 of the inch equals a foot scale. Make a mark out up 8. So it rises up 8. What you get is there's a triangle in here. Let me kind of draw it. There's a triangle involved here. Right here and here. Now, that's going to be the pitch of your roof. Let me kind of darken it in here on the hypotenuse. Let me sort of darken that in so you can see it. So that's going to be your pitch roof, okay? But this roof actually overhangs a foot. If you look at this problem, it overhangs a foot from the outside of that 6x6 post. So here again, I take the 3/4 of the inch equals a foot scale. I'm going to make 2 marks out 1 foot from the outside of that post. So mark here, maybe make another mark here, get my straight edge or triangle. That's going to be the extent of the overhang. You see that roof overhangs. So let me kind of draw a mark there, a vertical line. Now I can continue my slope is what I'm going to do. That slope actually goes out and touches that overhang, and I kind of want to get it to mimic where the continuous break line is too. So I'm going to extend this slope line up to about here, I suppose. All right. Now, that roof rafter has thickness. We already figured out it's about a 2x4. I'd say a 2x4, even though they don't specify in this drawing. So, I'm going to go ahead and offset or copy this sloped line 4 inches. Now, this one's kind of tricky. You got to make 2 marks again. I'm going to find 4 inch, make a mark. Go somewhere else on that line, 4 inch, make a mark. And keep in mind, these should be parallel. Use my straight edge to draw a parallel line here. I could put a little continuous break line in here. I'm just going to kind of freehand that one. That'll be fine. Okay. They put aluminum drip edge with fascia board and perforated soffit. So this is a closed cornice is what it is. I'm not too much worried about that. All I'm going to do is take a straight edge, which happens to be my triangle, and just kind of draw that where it's been trimmed off for gutters. So I'll darken that in. So next, we've got some more lines to darken in here. Let's see, what else can we darken in? The outside of the column of the post here, we can darken that in. We can darken in the inside, just make sure to skip over where the beam is at. So I'll darken here and darken down below it here. It's not darkening in. There we go. The beam itself, we can darken that in. So let's darken that in. Same thing up here. Darken this in. Make sure your lines are parallel or perpendicular. Again, these are all 90 degree except for the pitch of the roof. Now, let me darken this in a little bit better. Right in here. Okay, that might be a little bit better. Now, we've got some annotation to do. So the first thing I'm going to start with this roof pitch. So how to draw that? Get your architect scale and somewhere off the roof, draw a horizontal line. So something like that. And then on there, I'm just going to find 0 and 1 foot and make 2 marks. So right here and here, I guess. And then remember, this drops down 8 inch. So I'm going to drop it down to 8 inch. Now I got 3 points, 1, 2, 3. How to draw these, the appropriate way to draw it. You're going to draw 2 legs of a triangle. So let me draw here, and I get my drafting triangle and draw here. Now you're going to want to label these, so I'm going to write in here 12, and then over here is going to be 8. Now, something else I should mention, that hurricane tie. Generally, those are going to be about 2 inch thick, and they kind of vary a little bit. There's different types, but I'm just going to draw 2 parallel lines, draw a little rectangle to represent that. And you can actually hand sketch this. So I'm just going to draw a parallel line here, a parallel line here, and just kind of close it in. And this is where you're going to put a little leader line, okay? A little bit of a leader line there with an arrowhead on it. And I'm going to write hurricane. Hurricane strap. Okay. Below that, you had your 2x10 beam. So I'm going to write 2 inch by 10 inch beam. Let's annotate this beam here, or this post. That was a 6x6 post, so I'm going to annotate 6 inch by 6-inch post. Always capitalize in drafting, by the way. What else do we got? What about that? Well, we'll get back to that. What about the 4-inch thick concrete slab with the footer built in? So I'm going to draw me a leader line off the top of that somehow. Arrowhead. And right in here, 4-inch concrete slab. You can put W/ with footer. Don't forget the footer's built in. Let's see, what else do we got here? At the very bottom is an anchor post. That's a piece of steel, okay? They're going to put a washer, put a nut, take a ratchet, and tighten. It's going to connect this wood to that concrete. This goes into that footer, I'd say a foot, okay? These can kind of vary too. So I'm just going to kind of hand sketch one. I'm just going to kind of hand sketch 2 parallel lines and maybe darken this in so they really know that there's some type of anchor. And then come up with another leader line and write in here post anchor. Post anchor. What else do we got? In that footer, there's going to be rebar. That rebar is closer to the bottom. First of all the weight comes to, it's at its greatest towards the bottom. So they usually put 2 pieces of rebar. How to draw that? I'm just going to draw 2 little circles, okay? And just kind of annotate off of that and put number 4 rebar. Okay, my handwriting's being bad today, but I'm in an awkward position anyhow. What else do I need to do? Don't worry about these fascia boards and the kick plates. Don't worry about them. Oh, whoa. I know what to do. My overhang's a foot, and from the top of that beam to the top of the footer, or slab, I mean, is 8 foot. So, how to do that? I'm just going to kind of extend a line over here off this overhang. You could use a triangle. And then maybe take my T-square and come across. Maybe like so. Whoop. Yeah, there we go. And just put a little slash here and a little slash there. And I'm going to write 12 foot 0 inch. So that's going to be your overhang. And then from the top of that beam, I'm going to extend a line over there to dimension it. This one's going to come out a little bit further, maybe to here, and then the top of the footer here. Same thing. And then get my triangle, and between that, draw a dimension line. Kind of like so. I got a little long. Okay, fine. Put a little slash here, a little slash here, and this is where I'm going to twist around a little bit like this and just write 8 foot 0 inch. Generally you're going to label these, and so somewhere at the bottom I'm going to write let's see, section detail wall system. Now to scale, to complete this, what I want you to do, what you should do, somewhere I'm going to make a mark at the 0 and 3/4 inch equals a foot scale, and the 1, and draw a straight line across and kind of duplicate that right below itself, kind of like so. And I'm just going to kind of hand sketch this, but I'm going to close that in to a rectangle. and just sort of divvy it up, like divvy it up this way, divvy it up into quarters. And then some of these I'll shade dark, like this one and this one. And the other ones I'll kind of leave open, but I'm going to write somewhere 3/1/4 the inch equals 1 foot dash 0 inch. And make sure to put my name. My name is Martelli. My last name, my surname. So I'm going to put my name in there. And today's date is the March 26th, 20. So, I don't know. It's just a basic cross section of a wall system. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you.